What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Immense back out with another video, and today we are doing my December 2024 monthly check. And I was actually supposed to post this a few hours ago, but New Year's got hectic. So, also Happy New Year, everyone! We are officially in 2025, and I'm filming this very late at night. So if I'm tired, I apologize. It's just I did this a lot later than I expected. And for those who do not know what my monthly check is, it is where I rank all the movies that I saw, new releases and movies that people that have seen that I have never seen before, and I rank them from the worst to the best in my personal opinion. Then after that, we go on to the overhaul, which is new items I got this month, and that'll probably be longer than the ranking, and the ranking itself will be pretty long because I watched a lot of movies this month too, so we're gonna be in a long one here today, ladies and gentlemen. And then after that, we go on to the new pictures I drew and added to the ceiling you see right there, so, which I have 3, which surprisingly, that is more than I usually do. So, but before we get into actual beginning of the video, so guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Number 1, it's absolutely free. Number 2, also being available with the YouTube algorithm recommended to more people, and maybe they could join. Feel free to comment your monthly checks down below. With that being said, guys, this is Grind to and before we grind to also stay tuned for tomorrow because I will be doing my 2024 yearly check, which will also take me a very long time to film. So if I did that today, woof, that would have been a tough day on me, but we're doing it tomorrow. So, wait, hold on a second. I'm just gonna move this over here, just in case, so I don't forget. And with that being said, let's just get into the actual ranking itself. In total, I saw 26 movies. That's gonna, and one, hang on, I gotta count. And 11 of them were new releases, and some of them were movies I just wanted to watch to add to my end of the year list, so I didn't forget. So, keep that in mind. But coming in at number 26, I have Kraven the Hunter. No surprise there. To be fair, I don't hate it as much as other people do. I think it was entertainingly bad, similar to Madam Web, but I think it was better overall than Madam Web, because still I did not like Madam Web and thought it's definitely going to be in my top 10 worst of the year. As for this one, I think the best things to talk about Kraven the Hunter, I already did a standalone review for this, are the action sequences I like. I think they're pretty decent. And also, some of the actors you could tell at least were trying. Aaron Taylor Johnson, you could tell he actually wanted to be the Kraven the Hunter character, and he tried his best as Kraven, and I think he did okay. Russell Crowe does good in here, even though it's very odd that he is in a movie like this. And I think that for the first half of the movie, when it's in Kraven's origin, I don't know why, I kind of wasn't bored at it. I was going, okay, sure, formulaic, but I'm kind of intrigued by this. What else you got for me? But then that's where it ends, because ADR in here, man, terrible. Especially for Kraven the Hunter's brother, he does a bunch of scenes where he imitates other people's voices, and it's just, yeah, the voice, the mouth is not adding to, it is not connecting to the voices whatsoever, and it's going, yeah, that's pretty bad. Is it Madam Web bad? No, but still pretty bad. Dialogue in here, not good either. The later half of the movie I found very, very boring. And like when it goes into the revenge subplot, yeah, the movie lost me, and I just thought it was boring up until then. the Kraven versus Rhino fight was okay. The CGI for Rhino was pretty wolf. It wasn't as bad as the Flash CGI, but still is pretty rough. And yeah, do I need to explain myself here? I'm pretty sure everyone would have this at the bottom, but I think it's entertainingly bad. So maybe if I rewatch it, I might rewatch this down in the future sometime. Also not number 25, number 26. This is number 25. And I would say there's a huge gap from all the rest of these up here. Coming in at number 25, I have Lord of the Rings, the original animated movie. I've, of course, seen the beloved trilogy from Peter Jackson. I love those movies. So, building up to the newest film that came out earlier this month, I reviewed the whole entire Lord of the Rings movies, including the animated movies. And this right here is the animated movie. And I thought it was okay. I think the animation is actually pretty decent for the time, and also there's this little transition they have in here from where they have they have live action kind of behind how do I explain it? You just have to see the movie to see what I'm talking about, but there's live action parts that are backstories for the animation, which I thought was pretty interesting how they did that there. All the rest, it's just the weaker version of the Lord of the Rings story, which I love those original movies, and it came out before them, so I much prefer the live action trilogy. Coming in at number 24, I have Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. It's okay. I didn't hate it. And also, I reviewed all these movies on Letterboxd. So if you want my more in-depth thoughts, I have individual reviews for them on there. This one was kind of just, why did we need a sequel for Lion King? There was some stuff I liked in here. I think overall, Simba's arc is pretty decent, even though he's not in the movie much. It focuses more on the relationship with his daughter and this new character. It more focuses on that instead of Simba's arc. But Simba's arc is pretty decent in here, where he's trying to be a good king like his father. I like that story. But a bunch of this feels as if it's just trying to do a lot of the things the same thing. A lot of the things that the first film did. Like, the villain in here, basically just a female version of Scar. And they literally do almost the exact same song for her. It has different vocals. It's not Be Prepared, but they try to get a song to be on that level, and it's nowhere near that. Animation wasn't that good. You could tell it was downgraded from the first film. But overall, it's still not bad animation. It was okay. I didn't hate it. But yeah. Coming in at number 23, I have The Animated Hobbit. The Animated Hobbit, I originally... Probably out of the animated movies, maybe it was my least favorite originally. But now, over time, I think I like this one a little bit more than the animated Lord of the Rings. Because I think some of the characters they decided to make them look like in here are so much different from the live action movies. I think they're pretty decent. So Gollum in here looks pretty different compared to his live action counterpart. I mean, to be fair to the movie's credit as well, unlike the Hobbit trilogy, it is one-centric story, and it's supposed to be one-centric story, so it has that going for it. But overall, I'm going to watch the Hobbit movies more, even though it is a little odd that they stretched out the Hobbit one book into 3 whole entire movies that are all 2.5 hours, remind you, but yeah. And coming in at number 22, I hate to be a broken record, but another animated Lord of the Rings film, in The Return of the King. It's basically a sequel to The Hobbit. And it totally ignores the first 2 chapters. It's its own thing. The Lord of the Rings animated movie doesn't feel connected at all. This just feels as if it's a sequel to the animated Hobbit movie. And I think I enjoyed this one the most, but still didn't love it either. Coming in at number 21, and I would say from here on up, these movies I liked or thought were really good, great, or whatever. Coming in at number 21, I have Werewolves. Originally, I was very excited for this one because I saw the trailer, and the trailer looked pretty good. And also, the plot got synopsis. The movie got synopsis. I cannot speak. The movie synopsis was Purge with werewolves. Sign my ticket. Sign my ticket. Went in to go see it. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it, though. I was hoping to love it because I'm a big werewolf fan for movies and vampire movies in general, which, unfortunately, I didn't see Nosferatu this year. I'm sorry. It's just, I wasn't allowed to see it because there's some scenes in there, so, yeah. But werewolves, yeah, I liked it. Frank Grillo acts good. I think this movie is mostly practical with the werewolves, which, if you go for a werewolf movie, I want all the effects to be practical. And to the movie's credit, all of it is practical, except for the actual transformation sequences. So, I overall enjoyed the werewolf sequences. The plot is just too similar to The Purge. That's my biggest issue with it, really. And also, some of the acting besides Frank Grillo, I didn't think were all that good. But it's still pretty decent. Coming in at number 20. Yes, number 20 is The Phantom of the Opera from 1943. And I'll eventually talk about this later, but this came in with the Universal Monsters Blu-ray collection, which I originally had all the DVDs except for Phantom of the Opera, so I got that set just to upgrade the DVDs and get that. And I liked it too. It took me a little bit to like it because it started off very, very slow, and I wasn't really connecting with it all that much. And I'm not even kidding you. There's a bunch of YouTubers where something will give them a headache or whatever, or like make you sick or whatever while watching a movie, and I didn't really think that would ever happen to me. But for this one, for the opera singing, oh my goodness, it gave me a headache. I was going, oh my goodness, oh gee whiz, can you turn the volume down? You don't have to make it that loud. And they made the opera sequences very loud, and it gave me a headache. But later on in the movie, once we get into the actual Phantom of the Opera situations with him actually getting involved and doing stuff and killing people and all that, I think it did hook me. But before then, it took me a little bit to get invested into it because of how slow it was building up to that. But still, it was enough to make me like it with the whole entire Phantom of the Opera getting involved. Coming in at number 19, I watched this trilogy for the very first time this month, and that is the Equalizer trilogy. And coming in at number 19 is Equalizer 2. I still like this movie too. It is my least favorite out of the Equalizer trilogy, but I still thought it was very, very solid. I think the action sequences are still great. I think the final act is also still really fun with the hurricane. This, I think, has the best villain out of the franchise, and Pedro Pascal. Is Pedro Pascal's character, I think he's good too. Or, also, even though the hurricane sequence is cool, I think it might be the weakest final act. Maybe that or another one, which we'll eventually talk about. So, yeah, I thought it was solid. And I liked the stuff it did with Macaulay and, Miles. I liked that dynamic they had in there. Coming in at number 18, I have Joker Forever, which I actually missed out on this when it came out in theaters, but I watched it on Max the other night, and I liked it too, and I watched this one without watching the first Joker, so I know I'll probably get backlash for that, but whatever. I ended up liking the movie.
I have never heard someone say so many wrong things, one after the other, consecutively in a row.
Before it eventually released in theaters, I heard all the early reactions where there was people that loved the movie, were calling it a masterpiece, and then there was the majority of people going, "What did you do? Why make a sequel to the first Joker? And the first Joker was divisive in itself, but this one was more negative than the first Joker. And so I went in a little hesitant to check out Joker Folie à Deux. I just watched it to get it on my end of the year list and also to add it to the all comic book movies ranked list or whatever. And yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it though. I think Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga do good at acting in here as Joker and Harley Quinn. I think the movie stylistically looks really great. Some of the earlier musical numbers I didn't mind, but eventually later on in the movie I was going, yeah, I don't like the musical numbers, take them away. And I'm not really a big musical guy, so there's that. And I think overall the whole entire thing with Arthur in the prison kept me hooked earlier on in the movie. But when it went to the court cases, I didn't really care for them, except for the one court case with, I forgot what the character's name was, but Puddles, or whatever, but that's his last name, but starts with a D. Okay, anyways, the tiny dude from the first movie, that little sequence with him and Arthur was really good, probably the best scene of the movie. However, this movie, basically, the ending can, wow. That's such a way to send a huge middle finger to the people watching this movie. No spoilers here, but, like, man, wow, that's the way you end it. And I bet even if the people that loved the first film, does this not make them mad as well, because this makes the first film and this one kind of mean nothing. But anyways, yeah, there's that. Coming in at number 17, I have Mufasa the Lion. This one I walked in as skeptical as can be, because I was not a fan of the live action Lion King remake whatsoever. This one, to its credit, was better than I was expecting it to be. This one was a little bit more original than the Lion King movie, but while still having like some familiar aspects to it. But this one has its own significant story. I think the dynamic between Scar and Mufasa at first was pretty decent, but when Scar doesn't a 180 switch later on in the movie, it's just happened so abruptly and out of left field where you're going like, how does that add up whatsoever? Villain in here didn't really care much for, even though he had a pretty decent song actually, and it scars me to say that because he's voiced by Mads Mikkelsen, which I think he is an incredibly underrated actor, and they just misuse the villain. He's just very generic. All the other musical numbers besides the bad guys musical numbers were, the I Always Wanted a Brother, that song, besides those, I didn't really care for those musical numbers. So, yeah, I liked it. I surprisingly liked it, and even though I went in very, very skeptical. Coming in at number 16, I have Carry On. So this is the newest Die Hard ripoff, if you want to call it that. But Carry On, still pretty decent Die Hard ripoff, because a whole lot of movies in the early 80s and late 80s and 90s, early 90s and late 90s were Die Hard ripoffs. But there were a couple of them that were actually pretty good. Air Force One, Cliffhanger is over there somewhere. That's a pretty decent Die Hard kind of ripoff, if you will. And this one's another decent one. However, it is a little too similar to Die Hard, I will admit. More similar to it than the other films that I just mentioned, to be honest. Taron Egerton does good. Jason Bateman does really good in this. It's a very... I have never seen him do a serious role before. He's usually been in a lot of comedies, and this time around he actually plays a very menacing villain. So that was a different change of pace for him. I thought he was pretty solid in that role, and I would like to see more from him for that. There is a couple action sequences in here that I thought were really good. There's one particular sequence with a car that I thought was awesome. And really quite solid, quite solid. But I wouldn't say I love the movie, though. It's not perfect. Coming in at number 15, I have my second favorite in the Equalizer trilogy, that being Equalizer 3. I think this by far has the weakest villains of the franchise, but you definitely do want them to get theirs at the end of the movie. This probably has the best and most grittiest and goriest action of the franchise if you're into that. So there's there's quite a few gory sequences in here where I was going like, dang, the intensity went up from the last two movies. What happened? Gee whiz. But as a Carnage Candy fan, I thought it was pretty solid. I think the Equalizer's arc in here, Denzel's arc, is pretty solid with this town where he's trying to protect this town. So there's that. Coming in at number 14, I have Cato Lake, or is it Cato Lake? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is an HBO Max movie I ended up missing out on. I believe it came out in November or October, as Dylan O'Brien in it, where all I'll say is couple of disappearances happen in this forest, or in this lake, and that's all I'll say really, with the plot and everything. Dylan O'Brien delivers a really good performance. I think the way the movie, the eventual route the movie took place, I was going, that is kind of interesting, and I wasn't expecting that for a twist reveal or anything, so pretty decent. However, it is a little bit of a mind trip of a movie when you get to that twist, like, because you gotta start connecting the dots and going, oh, wait, that, what, okay, anyways, but yeah, that's basically what you go like while watching the movie. It's pretty decent, and HBO Max, Netflix needs to take a couple of notes from them, because, don't get me wrong, they had their hitters this year. They had, Carry On, and then they have another movie which we'll eventually talk about, but they gotta take some notes from HBO Max, man. Coming in at number 13, I have the first Equalizer, and the first Equalizer is my favorite out of three. Originally, when I watched Equalizer 3, it was pretty 50-50. I didn't know which one I loved more. But having sat it over, I think the first Equalizer is my favorite out of the three. Because I think it has the villain in this one is tied with the villain from the second film played by Pedro Pascal. I think those two are 50-50 for best villain. This has the best actions, the best final act of the movie in that warehouse. I thought there was a lot of cool action in that. Denzel is great as the Equalizer. And I forgot to mention this about the whole entire trilogy, though. It is very similar to John Wick. Even though the first movie came out before John Wick did, it is still very similar in the routes it takes. So, yeah, it has that going for it for a negative. Even though John Wick came out later before this. Coming in at number 11, we have The Fire Inside, which this was the most recent one of the most recent watches of this list. And I thought it was a pretty solid sports movie. I didn't love it, but I did really enjoy this one. I wasn't too familiar with the story of the main boxer. I don't know why I forgot her name, but from the trailers, it looked pretty solid. Michael Tyree Henry in this does phenomenal. I think if I was running the Academy Award nominations, I would have nominated him for Best Supporting Actor, and I think he did really, really great in this as our Clarence Shields is the main person's name. Her and his dynamic is actually pretty solid. The boxing fight sequences are pretty solid too. This was a solid watch, even though it is very familiar to movies that you've seen before. So, yeah, I'd recommend this one if you want a sports movie to see. Coming in at number 10, we're on the top 10 people, I have A Complete Unknown. So this is the movie about Bob Dylan. I did not know much about Bob Dylan going into this one, so walked in completely blind about his story and basically just watched the trailer. And Timothy Chalamet in this got nominated for one of the best actor nominations, and I think that was rightfully so. He is phenomenal in this, and the prosthetics works in the voice, particularly of him as Bob Dylan, is really great. The musical numbers are pretty good as well. And also this does do a great job at capturing that I believe this is in the 60s, 70s. I forgot what time frame this is, but it does a great job at in capturing that time period. It is the 60s because I remember they said something about JFK. What was I gonna say? My only issue with the film, really, that I could think of right now, I know I had other things wrong with the movie on Letterboxd. Oh, wait, it is the movie's length. I think it is a tad bit too long, and also, I think this movie has maybe a little bit too many musical numbers, while they're still good. Coming in at number 9, I have Juror number 2. I believe this came out last month, or earlier this month. This is the new courtroom drama with Nicholas Hoult, and I thought it was quite solid. I'm a big fan of courtroom dramas. Well, not big fan, but most of the courtroom dramas I've seen, I've loved. 12 Angry Men being one of them, A Few Good Men, and yeah, this was another one to add to that list. I thought it was great. Nicholas Hoult acts really good in this. J.K. Simmons acts really good in this as well. What's her name?
Toni Collette.
Darn it, I don't know why I forgot her name, but the mom from Sixth Sense, she does good in here too. The only issue I really had was the movie did drag sometimes, and the ending felt a little abrupt, but it was still quite great. I enjoyed it, and it's one of the might be one of the best straight to Max movies this year. Coming in at number 8, yes, number 8, is Lord of the Rings: War of the Rohirrim. I guess I ended up on the opposite of the food chain for this movie because most people were disappointed by it. Or I think most people liked it, but I didn't. I liked it more than everyone else did. And I actually thought it was quite good. I think it is it might be the best Lord of the Rings project, in my personal opinion, that we've gotten since that Peter Jackson trilogy. I truly mean that. I think and I'm a big fan of anime from the animes I've seen, and I think the anime style really meshes well with the actual Lord of the Rings story, and I thought they used it quite well. I think the two main characters in here are solid. I think the villain is actually pretty solid in here too. I think he's maybe a top 5 Lord of the Rings villain. While still being a familiar movie, don't get me wrong, I do agree with that. It is very familiar of other things, but I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Coming in at number 7, I have Rebel Ridge. And Rebel Ridge, it took me a little bit to see it, as I said before, and I thought it was really good. It includes the new guy that's playing Jon Stewart for the Green Lantern TV show, and I think that was the right choice after seeing this movie. He did great, and he totally encapsulates that Jon Stewart energy. The action sequences are quite good. The moments with the villains in this movie are really intense. So, yeah, Rebel Ridge was also really good. Coming in at number... I'm so confused for a second. Coming in at number 6, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I'm trying not to fall asleep here. And I enjoyed the first 2 Sonic movies. I think the first one is solid, even though it is very familiar, and it's probably my least favorite of the trilogy. Sonic 2, I thought, was a lot better in capturing more of the video games into the movie, and this one was by far my favorite out of the 3. Shadow was a great addition, and his backstory was used well in the film. Jim Carrey still does great as Robotnik and Papa Robotnik in this movie. Also, this time around, the hedgehogs are more at the forefront compared to the other ones. So, I enjoyed that little thing, too. Coming in at number 5, I have You Better Watch Out. It's just Better Watch Out. It's not, there's no you in the title. But Better Watch Out is, I won't reveal too much because I do think I recommend this one. But all I'll say is there's a babysitter and 2 kids, and there's a lot of noises outside, and someone breaks in, something or someone breaks into the house. That's all I'll say on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or that Christmas week. So in December, it happens around that time frame. That's all I'll say because, yeah, I thought this one was a great holiday horror movie. I think the main performances are all quite solid. The main girl that plays Priscilla from Elvis does really good in here as the babysitter. I think his name's Logan something. The guy that plays Kid Craven in the Craven the Hunter movie, and also he plays Peter Pan and Pan. I think he does really good in this movie. So, yeah, and the twist reveal, while not being surprising because I got spoiled about it, I think was executed very, very well. And if I hadn't known the twist reveal, I wouldn't have seen this coming. So, yeah. Coming in at number 4, I have The Family Stone. Surprisingly, I had not seen this movie much. I had not seen this movie all the way through. Originally, so the story with this one, my family always watched it every single Christmas, but I had never watched it, really. And I eventually watched it and sat down and watched it, I believe, on Christmas Eve. And I thought it was really great. I think I like all the characters in this one, except for maybe the, I'm blanking out. The guy that's played by the, detective from Scream 6. I wasn't sure about his character. I don't know if I liked his character or not. But everything else was really good. So, the dynamics between the family, and it had a lot of heart to it too. The end of the movie almost made me teary-eyed, so yeah, it was an effective one. I thought it was really good, and I might rewatch this again every Christmas season. Coming in at number 3, I have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I don't know if that was a voice crack. I've never watched the Bill and Ted movies until recently, and the other 2 I'll watch for this next month. I haven't watched them yet. But the first one I thought was really solid. However, it is very reminiscent of other movies I've seen before, though. Yeah, it takes a lot of inspiration from Back to the Future, but it does take its own unique thing, its own unique spices with it. So, but it's so funny to watch Keanu Reeves in this movie to see, oh, that's the guy that eventually becomes like a dark action star, right, in John Wick. That's crazy, right? Yeah, it is crazy, and it's crazy seeing him in this role. Including the historical figures in this movie was quite funny as well, so yeah, I'll put that at number 3. I thought it was great. And if I had watched this when I was younger, probably this would be among one of my favorite movies of all time. Now, coming in at number 2, I'm pretty sure all of us can agree, the best Christmas horror movie, Black Christmas, and not any of the remakes. Talking about the original one. The original one, this movie, I was actually a little bit, I wanted to see it, but I was a little hesitant, going like, oh man, I wasn't a fan of Halloween, and everyone loves that movie, and I didn't really like the slow pacing. So, to its credit, it is very similar to, like, slow pacing and stuff, but that didn't bother me, because the whole entire vibes of this movie were there. I mean, the creepiness of it was just very creepy. And I watched this like at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on one night, and it was dark outside, and I had my window open, and I kept on looking outside my blinds like, oh, somebody's watching me. Billy is one of the creepiest killers out there, even though you never see a glimpse of it, like, see his actual face or anything. You just see That's all in shadow. That's all in shadows. He's one of the creepiest killers out there. The phone calls, my goodness, those are creepy, and the sound design for them are great. Also, I found this out not too the other day. The main final girl in this movie actually passed away not a few days ago. Rest in peace to her. I think she was a really good final girl in this movie. She had her entire thing about her thinking about aborting the baby. They find a way to make me sympathize with her in this movie, and they make me want to see her get out of things. And yeah, I thought they handled it well, where you did want to root for her and you would be fine with any of her outcomes or whatever. But coming in at number 1, and some might argue it's not a movie or whatever, but it's on Letterboxd, so I can't. It is Once Upon a Studio. It is a 20-minute little animated movie that I missed out on. It came out 2023, I believe. And it is a collaboration of all the Walt Disney animated movie characters. It's a short little film paying tribute to I think, 100 years of animation, which is an incredible feat, by the way. I think it was just very sweet. I gave a 5-star review on Letterboxd. I might rewatch it again after doing this. And it was just great to see all those characters interact. And there's one moment particularly in this film where, gosh, I'm getting choked up talking about it. But the whole entire thing with, there's a whole entire thing with Mickey and Walt in here where it just, oh, my stomach sunk for that one. I thought that was very, respectful to him, and I thought it was very, how do I say it? I thought it was very heartwarming, but it almost made me want to cry or anything. But it almost made me want to be teary-eyed. Yeah, it was very yeah, I liked it quite a bit. All right, that is the list done. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. I'm filming this at 1:26, but I'll keep on going anyways, and I have to edit this video afterwards. So pray for your boy, please. All right, let's go into the new stuff I got this month. And most of them are Christmas presents. So, where's the shirt? I want to do the shirt add the shirt with it so it goes perfectly, right? Yes, is that the shirt? Yes. So for Christmas, I got these, Beetlejuice pajamas right here. I think those look pretty cool. I think I got that from my sister, I'm pretty sure. I like those quite a bit. I think they look cool, and along with that also came... Oh, wait, this is the wrong shirt. But yeah, well, anyways, I'll show it off. This I actually got from one of my aunts. I think it was... it's the Back to the Future shirt. And Back to the Future is my 3rd favorite movie of all time. So, thank you to my aunts if you're watching this. Oh, this is the shirt I was talking about. This is the one that kind of goes with the PJs. It is the Beetlejuice shirt. So, that's pretty cool. Yeah, now I like Beetlejuice quite a bit. Also, along with that, I got these Scream Ghostface little pajama pants. I think those are cool. Scream is my 2nd favorite movie of all time, the original film. And then there's the shirt right there. And that's from Scream 6, I think. Yeah, so, yeah, I thought that was a cool new addition. I got this earlier in the month, but I got these Christmas pajamas. These are specifically Christmas Eve pajamas. So my mom usually gets something for all of us to wear on Christmas Eve. And then we'll open the presents in the morning with these on. And then that's from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So there's that as well. I got a costume for Christmas, and hold on a second. I'm trying to get it right here. It is a Deadpool costume. And also, here's the mask too. I'll wear it too. Ready? Okay. See, there's the Deadpool mask too. Even though my head feels like it's too big for this. You know? You know what? I might wear this for the whole entire video now. Why not? Oh, wait, what is that? Oh, that's so I can breathe through the holes. But all I'll say is second YouTube channel might be coming this year. That's all I'll say. Actually, you know what? I can't see through this, actually. So, no, I'm not gonna wear that. Ugh. Oh, boy. Alright. I got this, Kenny's hat from Walking Dead, the Telltale series. For those who do not know, Walking Dead, the Telltale series is, my favorite video game of all time and my favorite thing of fiction of all time. And on top of that, as my two favorite fictional characters of all time, my number one is, of course, Clementine. So I love that character so much. And, yeah, such a great character arc there. And then my second is actually Kenny. And I love Kenny too. And, yeah, I got his hat to go along with my two Clementine hats. So, which, that's a funny story that I've talked about before. So, on my previous monthly checks. So, you know what? No, I'll wear this, while I'm doing this. No, I gotta do it this way. And I might dress up as Kenny for Halloween. I don't know why I included this, but I did, so why not? I included some Swedish fish mini tropical things. I've never tried tropical Swedish fish, so there's that. So my brother-in-law, Andrew, got lots of beef jerky for Christmas. So he said, hey, you want it back? So I said, yeah, sure, I'll have it. Even though I have never tried beef jerky before, and I still haven't. Oh, yeah, I'll go with that. I'm saving the physical media for last. Even though Jax, ASM, and Jordan are probably going like, oh, well, books count as physical media. Whatever. I got this graphic novel of Captain America, the Ghost Army. So, fun story about this one. So, I saw this at Universal. I went to Universal October or November. And I got a couple of comic books there on some of my previous monthly checks, and I saw this there as well, and I was going like, oh, I missed out on buying that one, because I like graphic novels a lot more than comic books, just because they're more of a fleshed out and full story. So I saw this, and it was going like, oh man, I should have got that. So I walked out. I think I did something with my dad, and my mom got this there, and when I saw her coming out with the bag, she tells me, like, it's for dad or something like that. Or I don't know what she specifically said, but she was going like, oh, this is for something else or whatever. So I was going, okay, even though I probably should have guessed it was Christmas present. But, yeah, so thank you, Mom. Appreciate it. Let me see here. I also got a 72 count Sharpie collection, which I have never had that many Sharpies before, which is insane. And I've already started using them, as you can see later on in the video when I show off my new pictures I drew on the wall. I also got these glow in the dark sticky balls. So I was going like, oh, so that's cool. And if you guys want to see it in its true form, let me turn off the light here. Well, I mean, hold on. I gotta get proper light on it first. Okay, ready? Ooh, so cool, right? Okay. So, yeah, that you gotta put it on light itself, so. Got that too. Oh my goodness, I'm out of breath. I need to take a breath. I've been talking a long time. And you know what? I'm going to be talking a long time tomorrow too. So, you know, that hurts even more. I also got this phone holder thing, which I've tried to use to film some of my videos, but it hasn't really quite worked out. So I stick to the OG format, so there's that. I also got this stuffed animal of Donald Duck. Donald Duck is another one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. I love Donald Duck. Yeah, I got him. So originally it was supposed to be like a big Donald Duck, but apparently they didn't have them. There was not a big Donald Duck, but I still like it. I still took it either way because Donald Duck is one of my favorite characters, and I love a stuffed animal Donald Duck. So, I got a extra controller, which I wanted because one of my controllers is absolutely garbage now, where it just stick drift. I think that's what it's called. It basically moves on its own now. So yeah, I'm glad I have another one, and I actually have 3 controllers. So yeah. What's next? Okay, we'll do these. I got all 4 of these in the same box, which I was going like, wow, you gave me all 4 of them? Thank you. It is a Funko mini collection of Five Nights at Freddy's characters. So you got Chica. You got Withered Freddy. You got Bonnie. And you also got Foxy. So you got the whole entire gang together. So that was pretty cool to get all 4 of these. Okay, I was trying to hold them all at the same time, but it seems like they don't want to cooperate. But yeah, there's that. Along with that, I also got just a plain Funko Pop of Black Adam. So that's cool. I actually liked the Black Adam movie when it came out. Also, this is one that I bought from some Amazon gift cards I got from Christmas, but I got this NECA figure of Michelangelo, mummy edition of him right there. So I think that's cool. I love TMNT, so I have already 3 NECA figures over there, which are Alf, Marty McFly, and Jason Voorhees. So I wanted a 4th NECA figure to go with it, and I ended up going with Michelangelo to add some uniqueness to it because Alf is like a TV show comedy character. Back to Marty McFly is a straight up movie character. Jason is a horror movie character, and then I wanted maybe another something a little different from those, so I got an animated figure. Now we move on to the physical media. Well, one kind of counts, even though it's a game. I got The Last of Us Part 2 remastered on PS5. The first game I played on the PlayStation from getting it from the PlayStation store for free. So, and I have not played this yet. So, and I only know about one thing about the game. So, but yeah. I'm excited. I've already started loving playing the game. Alright. Okay. I'll save the stuff. Yeah, we'll talk about the stuff that I bought. Okay, so along with the Amazon gift card money, I also got this Ultraman Blu-ray series. Of season 2? Wait, complete series. Yeah, 02, yeah. I believe that's season 2, so I haven't watched any Ultraman stuff, so I thought to myself, you know what? Why not watch something I haven't really dug into before? I'm gonna move all these over here. There we go. Alright. I got this WrestleMania 37 Blu-ray to upgrade my DVD. I do actually really like this pay-per-view. This is when they first brought the crowds back for WWE. Well, not permanently. It was just a 2-night thing, and then they officially brought them back in May. But I thought this WrestleMania was really good. I think the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan was awesome. I think Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair had a phenomenal match. The match of the weekend, personally, for me. Bad Bunny showed out in that tag team match, teaming up with Damian Priest to face Miz and John Morrison. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins was great. And Sami and Kevin also had another banger. So, yeah. I like that pay-per-view quite a bit. I also got this 4K of Ready Player One to upgrade my Blu-ray, and I actually really enjoyed this movie, having not read the book, and to be fair, I'm not much of a book reader to begin with, so I apologize. But yeah, if the book is better, but I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, so yeah. I didn't buy that one, but my mom got it for me, so we're kind of crossing into that one now. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving on 4K to upgrade the DVD out there to have it in my room, so I have the better version. I think all the rest is stuff that I got for Christmas. So this is a funny story. So here I got 2001 A Space Odyssey on 4K to upgrade my DVD, and the funny story with it is my sister actually got it, and she. When we watched this movie a long time ago, she absolutely hated the movie. And my dad got it for her as a joke. So she said, hey, you can have it if you want, Lucas. And I said, really? Really? Actually? Okay. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And to be fair, I wasn't that big of a fan of 2001 A Space Odyssey either. I thought it was very weird. But I'm due for a rewatch, so when I rewatch this, possibly I'll come to appreciate the movie a little bit more, or maybe I won't. I don't know. I got this 4-film Boris Karloff DVD collection, which I think is very random that I got it, but I'm not complaining. You got 4 movies here. You got Dance of Death, aka House of Evil. Okay. You got Torture Zone, Alien Terror, and Cult of the Dead. So, yeah. Boris Karloff, of course, horror icon. Along with horror icons, you got this, which I talked about loosely earlier on. We have this Universal Monsters 30 film, right? Yeah, complete 30 film Blu-ray collection. So it includes all the movies of Dracula, all the movies of Frankenstein, all the movies of Invisible Man, all the movies of Mummy, all the movies from Wolfman, all the movies from Creature from the Black Lagoon, and the 1943 version of Phantom of the Opera. So, yeah, and I just got it for Phantom of the Opera and to upgrade all my DVDs. You also got Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory on 4K to upgrade my DVD. And this is my favorite musical of all time. I love this movie, and it's one in my favorite movies of all time. Love Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I started to say it. Wizard of Oz on 4K. I also love Wizard of Oz. Perfect movie and one of the most influential movies of all time. Very important to the cinema as a whole, I think. And I have these old 3 DVDs, and I finally get to upgrade them. And it is the Spider-Man 4K collection of the 3 Tobey Maguire movies. I had those movies for years, and I finally get the 4K of them, and I'm very curious to see what they all look like on 4K. Alright, we got 4 more, and then we show off the posters and the new pictures I have on the ceiling. Okay. I'll show off the steelbooks last, I guess. I got Godzilla -1 on 4K. The best Godzilla movie that we have ever gotten, in my personal opinion. I loved that movie. And probably looking back on it, it probably should have been my number 1 of last year. Don't get me wrong. Well, technically 2 years ago. It should have probably been my number 1, even though I loved Iron Claw. So, I don't know. Those two go back and forth. I love both of those. Then you also got the 2-film 4K collection of the 2 Dune movies, so Dune and Dune Part 2. So, yeah, Dune Part 2, one of my favorite movies of this year, easily in the top 5. And the first Dune I like, but it is a very long movie. Then we also got to show off the steelbooks for last. You got The Fog on 4K steelbook, one of John Carpenter's films that I have never seen. I love John Carpenter. I like the first Halloween. I've grown to like it. I haven't loved it yet. but I love his take on The Thing. I love The Thing. This is Ghost Pirates, I think. So yeah, and it also ironically has Jamie Lee Curtis in it. So yeah, I'm excited to check this one out as well. And then I got the 4K Steelbook of Twisters, which I thought was miles better than the first Twister. Twister I didn't hate, I just thought it was okay. But this one I loved. Especially, I liked it a whole lot at first, but over time, I've started to really love this. And I think this is going to be in my top 10 of the year. I loved Twisters. But with that being said, guys, let's just show off the posters and the pictures now, shall we? So, transition Shazamiya. So when I went to see Sonic the Hedgehog 3, they had a Shadow the Hedgehog poster, so I got that, and that looks so glorious. I thought it looked really cool. Along with that, I know it might be hard to see, but you got the Moana 2 poster there. When I went to see that movie, well, actually, I didn't see it this month, but I saw it the last month, and it was there, so I grabbed it. Along with that, wait, what am I doing? Oh, you're supposed to go over here. I also got this little Clementine poster from Walking Dead the Telltale series as well that I bought with the Amazon gift cards of her killing a walker. So I thought that looked pretty cool. Is there any more that I'm forgetting? I think that's pretty much it for the posters. Now I'll show you guys the new pictures on the ceiling. Okay. Wow, this video is a long one, ain't it? Then you also got The Last of Us. I drew that and added that to the ceiling, so there's that. Last of Us is my second favorite video game of all time. Love Last of Us. I got two more to show. Where are they? There's one right there. I know it might be hard to see, but you got Dolly Parton's Many Colors right there. And then also, where are you? You also got the Fantastic Four up there, too, to hype up Fantastic Four First Steps. Hopefully that's the best out of the Fantastic Four movies. So, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to show you guys, I got this, too. So, for my door, when my parents walk and they see this, or guests or whatever, warning, may you all have video games. I thought that was cool, too. So, and I forgot to mention that. So, yeah, I got that as well. But with that being said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, this monthly check. Be sure to stay tuned in tomorrow for my yearly check. I'm going to probably be out of breath again. And also stay tuned for my top 10 most anticipated movies of the year tomorrow as well. But with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace.